I am Ashley Rose. You can call me Ash. I'm with TWM Plus, the wrestling movement in the UK, but I'm not in the UK. I'm in the States. I'm here with the man, the French Canadian Frankenstein, the man that cannot be killed, PCO. How are you today, PCO?
Very good. What about you, Ash?
I'm good. You know, it's Under Siege is right around the corner. So you're up for that, main event, that title against Maclin. I don't want you to give away too much. I don't want you to give out your plans or anything like that, but what can you tell us what we Impact faithful can expect?
Well, a lot of craziness, I believe, a lot of inhuman stuff, that's my goal, to be very super inhuman, to put it all out there and go pretty crazy, because this championship match means a lot to me. It's the goal of mine for a long time. I've been champion pretty much with every other major federation, and I mean to have like a great legacy, to be a great dynasty or whatever, just to build up more on PCO's accomplishments and things like that. It's a must for me. It's something that I've got to do. There's no way around, over, or under it. I mean, it's got to happen one way or another. So it's you have to expect that I'm going to leave it all in the ring and all around the ring to make it happen.
I mean, you're known for, a lot of damage, a lot of, high risk activities. I always ask the community if they have any questions before I come on, and I meet with someone from, Impact. Mark from TNI actually wanted to know, what is your recovery process, or how much time does it actually take? Because you're always in such a high performance state, and especially after, all the risk and moves that you take, all those, those heavy hitting bumps.
I don't have a time recovery. It's mostly a way of living. It's like I'm very disciplined, and like I've always have conversation with my family, with my mom and my dad, and because sometimes they're scared for me. They think I took a lot. I take a lot of risk, but I'm telling them, well, I train hard for this. I've been training hard all my life for this, and also I'm so disciplined that during the whole week I'm just taking care of myself. The way I eat, it's just my way of life is so simple. Like I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I'm super focused on what I do. So when I leave it all there in the ring, I feel like my body's used to those type of bumps and those types of risk taking and chance taking, and the I don't know. I feel like it's like my body has like callous itself at a certain place. Like I have a very solid back, and it's just when you do it all the time, it's kind of weird. It's hard to explain, but I rarely have like unless it's an accident, if I bump my head into a cement and I need 14 stitches to sew it up, But if it's just 3 or 4 stitches or something like that's nothing to me, But unless it's something big, because let's say I did a electrical malfunction and I decided I was going to dive where there's no one, and I cleared the mat and I'm landing on the concrete directly, and then I bust my forehead. then it's a little bit different. But when it's things that are not accidental, I feel it's there's a lot that I can control there. There's a lot that's part of, okay, I can do that day in and day out. And I always pride myself to be probably the only wrestlers, any age, you can compare with all the age, 20 years old, 30 years old, 35 years old. I have never been to the, let's say we have in the back, we always have a physiotherapist and we always have like someone who does like massage and try to replace guys, when they feel like they're in pain or whatever, their back hurts or whatever, something hurts, they get worked on. And I never was one of them. I've been totally out of those beds or those chairs for throughout my career. So I pride myself on that.
Absolutely. You keep coming back. You were Ring of Honor champion at one time. Uh, a lot of people in Impact Faithful are just big fans of PCO. They want you to be, of course, a world champion and see if you can beat Maclin. Because, even though Maclin did not beat Josh Alexander, I think you're a great competitor for him as well. If for some reason at Under Siege you're not able to gain, that title, would you be interested in perhaps another title? Would you ever consider going for X Division?
I think the way I've built my career, it was always like I've never take a defeat for a defeat or a no for a no. I always came back, and even for the Ring of Honor title, that my first attempt, I've lost, and I came back against Rouge, and then I won. I intend to not, drag this very long. I intend to win on Under Siege. At Under Siege, I intend to become the new Impact World Champion. But the title is really what means something to me. Not that the others are very important titles too. The digital titles, the X Division titles, or whatever, the tag team titles. I mean, they're all important titles to me. But I feel like the world title is the one that attracts me the most, for obvious reasons. Just because, like I said, just I've challenged, in every federation. I had world title matches with WWE. I was against Diesel with ROH, and then now Impact, and then I was with the WWE Tag Team Champions, hardcore champions in WCW, the world champion, and have pretty much had all the titles in ROH except the TV title. So the 6-man, the tag, the Crockett Cup, the NWA. So I mean, it's just to become that like some sort of a legend. I feel like I need the world title. It's got to be, and I think it would put a lot of publicity on Impact Wrestling. A lot of people will be talking about it for various reasons. So that's why this title means so much to me.
I mean, when you become Impact World Champion, you represent the company, just like any other world champion. It means that you are the standard for that company. So it's, it's completely understandable. You did recently have, when you came in, you had some issues with, because you came in with Honor No More. Any concern that, you still got a couple of members of Honor No More lingering in the back? Any concern that maybe Eddie would maybe perhaps cost you, that spot, interfere? I mean, I know there's no stopping you.
Yeah. Well, Eddie, I think we went at it for almost a year. So I mean, if it keeps on popping up, it's all right, but what will be the next step? There's always a next step. So I don't exclude anything from happening. Anything can happen, and I think that's the most important thing when you go and you watch a match that involves PCO. You know for a fact that he's very unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. Is he going to malfunction? He's going to uh, go crazy on certain things, and just you don't know what's going to happen. I think that's the most beautiful thing about this character. He can go crazy. He can do things that you don't expect, and I think there's also creatively so many other untapped potential that we haven't even touched yet with the character, with the persona. So there's still tons of things that we can do.
Yeah, I know one of the Impact Faithful members, we have such a fantastic community. Impact fans, they're so supportive. They had some questions as far as, what inspired you to become, the French Canadian Frankenstein. What was the inspiration behind the gear type, the design?
Well, my manager D Destro was the one who at first I went to see him as in real life coach. I mean, personal trainer. That was what I wanted to do because he's a legit old time strongman, feats of strength. So he's a legend on his own. Doing feats of strength. So his big things are. I grew up with watching monsters in the Boston area, Massachusetts area. He's from Boston originally, lives in Montreal now. But grew up watching monsters and grew up as a very lost his dad at a fairly young age and kind of got abused, at school and bullied and things like that. So went into strengths. So when I asked him, because I knew everything that he had accomplished, and I knew that he had lost a lot of weight and had done like a tremendous job of keeping his strengths and things like that. So I went to see him and said, "Hey, do you want to be my personal trainer?" Because that was when I came back into wrestling in 2017. When I came back where had spotlights on me more, So just before the Walter match. So that's when we start to hook up about November 2017, around that area. And then just eventually I just came out of the machine. I was walking away from him and then he said, "Stop walking." He said, "Now you are Frankenstein because you walk like him, you have the same ways of doing your things." And that's coming from someone that watched every movies of him, of Frankenstein. So he was really that's what he wanted to do. And then on top of that, the guy crazy about strength. So he started showing me like feats of strength. So we started to put like the strength of Frankenstein and the character, and then when I started, I wasn't like not really close as I am now to the roots of this character. Like I didn't have like the black outfit, all black. I didn't have the same makeup. Now I have a professional makeup artist doing all my makeups. Like I spent an hour every tapings, every pay-per-view. I spent an hour on makeup just by itself. So now we're deep, deep, deep into the character. And since we've been like going like deeper, like that was Destro's advice, go closer to the roots. The closer you're going to be to the roots, the better it's going to be. The more nostalgia you're going to bring, the more nostalgia about, the new wrestling, the way wrestling is done now, like stacking combos and more high flyings and more like craziness as far as, the guys, the level of athleticism, is way higher than it was before, but the nostalgia still there. So the goal is to combine what wrestling is doing right now on today's age, but to bring also the nostalgia of that movie and that the whole school wrestling, and to combine that together and to get the people living like great emotions and great feelings and having a time of their life just watching that. Just the entrance, my goal is just to have an entrance that just by the entrance by itself is worth the pay-per-view, was worth the entrance ticket, or it brings so much emotion right into the entrance that you're hooked for the rest of the match too. But of course, you got to deliver too. It's not just the entrance, but the whole package. So it's a thing with a lot of untapped potential. I've got so many more ideas, so many more creative ideas. And we brainstorm a lot, and we sit down a lot, and we don't live far apart from each other. And we always, even though right now he's not with me at Impact Wrestling, maybe one day he will. But even though he's not with me, he's 100% involved with me in every decision that I make for my own personal persona.
Well, I'm glad, that this is the style of character. I think it's people absolutely love it. Who does not love our, it's a very, especially with the way I saw Impact started doing the entrance. As far, I've been live, I've seen you there live. As far as how they've been doing the entrance on, when you watch it on actual like fights or become an Impact Insider, it's very nice, and it provides that nostalgia of an old Universal monster movie.
Yeah. That's the goal. It's black and white, right? Mm-hmm. On your screen, you see it black and white all the way to until they turn on the lights, and then it becomes color again.
Yes,
so I think that's pretty close to, like you said, the Universal old movie or whatever.
Yeah, it's I completely love that they did that. Especially even though Vince is gone, Vince was there with you for a while. Hoping one day we see him again. I'm not sure what he's doing at Ring of Honor.
Oh, he was doing great. Yeah, he was doing great. Together, we were doing good. Like he the way he was talking and everything, that was good. He had it down. He nailed it down. It's very good.
Yeah, it's we're running close on time here. Before I let you go, besides wrestling, we're talking about, that old nostalgia monster movie type. What's your favorite film, or what's your favorite type of film?
Me, it's always the underdog film. I'm a big I like Shawshank Redemption. That's an old movie, but all kind of movie. The Giannavis, the basketball player. The story about those family of basketball players that came from Africa. I don't know if you saw that movie.
I haven't seen it, but
he plays for can't remember, but he's one of the biggest star of the NBA. Giannavis. Well, the movie is awesome.
I'll check it out. I'll be sure to check it out. And
it's a hell of a movie. And now he's one of the biggest NBA star, probably the biggest NBA star with LeBron and a couple of others. But he's big. He's big, and it's a hell of a story.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Someone did ask about music. What type of music does PCO like?
I'm pretty much not huge on music. My music is regular music. Like, I'm a fan of, let's say, Metallica. But it could go from Madonna to Metallica to Adele. It's pretty much anything that I think sounds good to my ears, you know.
So you're eclectic. You're very, you like a broad, amount of.
Oh yeah. It could be, uh, something in French. It could be something where sometimes I don't listen that much to the lyrics, but if the sounds and the lyrics sounds good all together, if there's a hook to it, then I just like it. You know, it's just it's very a broad thing. You know, as far as music.
Hey, that's perfectly fine. It's nice to be open-minded, as far as just things in general and just how to perceive the world.
Yeah,
It's
I just don't have one way of okay, it's that type of music. It's very wide open.
all right. PCO, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. I've been looking forward to speaking with you, and I'm glad we finally got the opportunity to meet face to face. Well,
Yeah.
virtually at least.
Well, maybe in person eventually. Now I know like really who you are. Like so,
Yeah.
if you are at a show or something, you can come by. Or if I'll see you, I'll go see you and make
Yeah.
sure to introduce myself. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm usually there. I will be back at the Impact Zone pretty soon to visit and
Very
watch the
cool.
show.
All right, that's awesome.
All right. Thank you so much. Once again, that is the French Canadian Frankenstein, the legend PCO, and he's going for the Impact World title at Under Siege against Maclin, Mr. Tag'em and Bag'em, and you can catch that at Impact Plus. You can become an Ultimate Insider on youtube.com/Impact Wrestling. Great subscription service. You could catch the weekly shows there as well. And also check them out at DAZN. You have a good day.
Thank you.